Hey guys, it's your girl Tara Crush back with another review, and this time it is for Sistas on BET. If you haven't already, please hit my subscribe button down at the bottom. Thank you so very much. And yes, I have been sick, but I'm here tonight. I might sound a little nasally. I do apologize in advance, but just know I don't feel too good, but I'm here because, oh my goodness, that episode was everything. That might have been the best constructed episode of Sistas that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen every episode, sometimes more than once. So I'm just saying, that's a lot. Okay, so let's get right into it because I don't want to miss anything because, you know, y'all be letting me know too, like, well, what about this? And I love that about y'all. I love that y'all hold my feet. So let me know if I forget something, okay? All right. Because I did stop taking notes because I was into it. It was hard to take notes and still be into it. Okay, so we started out with Sabrina and Calvin. Remember, Calvin popped up on her last week and he wanted to see how she was doing, how things were going with her new boo or whatever, because he saw her on social media. He was giving her some good advice. She was letting him know what was going on with her trying to have a baby. She didn't really keep it real about Rich being, you know, insecure and how he didn't want no baby at first at all until she decided she was going to do in vitro, and until her coworker decided that he would, you know, volunteer his sperm to her. Then and only then did Rich decide that he wanted to, you know, volunteer his sperm and, you know, make the baby with her. So no, she didn't really tell the whole truth. She was just like, he really appreciated me using his sperm. She was going to use his sperm to begin with. What you talking about, Sabrina? It was never supposed to be Rich's sperm. That was like in the doctor's office. Remember when you was getting ready to stop it? Like, I was making excuses for this man and his insecurities. And of course, like always, he pops up. Like, why are you always popping up on this girl? Like, no matter what she does, whether y'all together, broke up, you done ghosted her for weeks, it don't matter. It's like you got a radar. You got some type of radar on Sabrina to where anytime she's got any penis within 2 feet of her, oh, you gonna pop up. Oh, you popping up. Oh, you definitely gonna pop up. So I hope Brina understands that about you, because that is your MO, no matter what. Okay, so he pops up, but this time he didn't jump to conclusions. He's throwing off like some little female, because I know that's what he normally does. He be throwing full-blown temper tantrums. Like, you might as well lay on the ground and kick your feet, Rich. Lay on the ground and kick your feet, because these temper tantrums, no, they've got to go. They have got to go. You are not 4 years old anymore. I'm just saying. But he pops up and Calvin leaves or whatever, and Rich is basically like, well, what's up? What's going on? You know, I come over here to see what's up and to let you know, I thought about it and I miss you. You know, yeah, I know I ain't been answering your phone calls, and I know I ain't been there. I know you've been messaging me. I know you've been calling me, and I have been ignoring you. I have been leaving you with your feelings all this time. Yes, I understand this, but now I understand what I want. Okay? And what I want is you, Brina. What I want is you, Sabrina. So I need you to forget all that stuff all them ways that I made you feel when I wasn't answering your calls and I wasn't making you feel like you were important to me. Forget all of that and come on and be with me, because I said I'm ready. Is there a problem? Like, is there a problem? Rich, about the money. What about money? Did something happen with you guys on your business trip? He tried to throw that in there. Y'all see that? On your business trip? And she was like, yeah, we got close. He was like, how close? Nothing like that, but we got close. And I was thinking, you deserve somebody that's not confused. So we should break up and see other people. What? What you mean we should break up and see other people? Brina, and I'm out of here. This is a waste of time. Yeah, it was. Because who told you to come over here? You should have kept that same energy that you had the last few weeks when you ain't been answering her calls or answering her messages. You'll just pop up when she got company talking about, I want you, girl. I want you to still be mine. Well, how about this? No, that's not how it works. I don't sit on the back burner until you decide that you ready to to prepare me. No, absolutely not. Move along, move around, sir. So I was really, really proud of Sabrina for breaking it off with him because he doesn't deserve her at all. He always gaslighting her. He's always, jumping to conclusions. He never trusts her. And he's the only one that's salty and nasty like that. Always acting like some female. I don't like it. And then we see Fatima. She's talking to Andy and she's like, I just feel like I don't know why I need to do this, but I'm going to turn your location on my phone. I'm going to turn my location on your phone. So I'll always be able to know where you at or whatever because, I got to have your back, blah, blah, blah. And I thought that was odd, but then we saw the previews and we knew something was going to happen to Andy, right? Right. And so Fatima and Andy were talking and they got to talking about Robin. And, Fatima was basically letting her know, I kind of have a feeling that, you and Robin, we haven't seen any of y'all story. Like, what's going to happen? Like, what are you going to do? Are you trying to see him? And, Andy was kind of bracing for, judgment. But she was like, yeah, I don't know what I want to do. And she was like, well, I think I like that for you. I like him for you. And so they kind of agreed that Andy probably wants him and he wants her. And she should probably go for him. And we already know Robin gave her the ultimatum, I'm leaving tonight. So if I don't hear from you before I leave, then I'm out of here. But I want you, girl. I want you, girl. And yeah, so she's on her way to go and get her man. She's happy and everything. I was like, okay, Andy, go get your man. Go get your man. I hope you make it. Okay, so we see, we're at the courthouse and we see, Robin went down and got, Robin went down with Penelope and got Jordan out, and they're all celebrating or whatever, and she tells Jordan to go on out to the car. She'll be out there and she wants to thank Robin, and she thanks Robin, and then she plants a big nasty stinking kiss on him. She's rubbing on his chest, she's kissing him, she's trying to seduce this man, and he's like, you're on my lip, that's my lip, I don't really want you on my lip, can you please get your mouth off my lip, thank you. Let me guess, Andy Barnes. Why you want to keep going behind her? Why do you want to keep going behind her is what you should be asking yourself, Penelope. Like, what is your obsession with this girl? She got you out of jail. She got your brother out of jail, but you still insist on her being the enemy. And I don't understand that. I guess so you can be a little hooker and try to hook up with her man. I don't know. But I don't like it, and I don't like that for you, and that's what you get. Because what you got was a big dose of rejection, because he said, get off of my lip. I don't want you kissing my lip. My lip belongs to me and Andy Barnes. You can feel how you want to feel, but I want her, I want you. So, yeah. Take your little rejected self on somewhere and quit throwing yourself on any and every man. But now you ain't going to heed my advice, are you? You ain't going to heed my advice, are you, Penelope? Because, girl, you got a hot box. What's going on with you? What is going on with Penelope? Who did this to her? This is crazy. She has clearly lost her noodle. I'm just saying. And then we see that Fatima did call Karen because apparently everybody has signed the contract, the new contract, and Karen is dragging her feet. And so she's like, well, I'm having a hard time doing it on my phone. I keep trying. It won't let me do it. Is there any way you can bring me a copy? And Fatima was like, well, I'm about to leave, blah, blah, blah. I'll tell you what, you can come by the house and you can come and sign a copy there and I can file it away from there. And she was like, okay, perfect. So Karen's going to go over to Fatima's house to sign the paperwork on the contract with Miss Marie. Okay, and so Andy gets in the car. She's all happy. She's walking to the car. She's like this. I'm going to get my man. 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 She gets in the car. Somebody puts the napkin over her face. And she's like this. She wasn't trying hard enough to get that thing off of her face for man. Because why ain't your hands like this? Like, immediately when somebody puts something over your face, your hand's supposed to be like this, trying to get it. She's like this. Oh, my goodness, I'm being suffocated by something. Oh, my goodness, I'm going to piss out of this second. Girl, act like somebody was trying to poison you and you didn't want it to happen. Don't just be laying there like the damsel in distress waiting to pass out. Like, girl, I thought Fatima taught you how to fight. I thought that's what had happened, but clearly she didn't teach you enough. Because, girl, where were your fighting skills? Because you didn't have not a Duke up. There wasn't a Duke anywhere. I don't understand. I don't understand. So we see Zach, he's at the house, and he's still going over the murder board. He ain't letting it go. Yes, they got Jordan locked up, but he don't think Jordan did it, and he does Fatima. So he's still looking at the board, and they making the conversation. He's like, you know what? We missing something. I know we missing something. And she's like, why you say that? He said, because Gary has been a creep his whole life. We just looking at the people we know that are around him now. But what about the people that he been knowing? And then they got this big old epiphany, and I did too. Oh, that's what it is. It's Jasmine. Jasmine did it because Gary did remember that it was a female that stabbed him, right? Jasmine is a female. That was his ex-wife. And I don't even think he got a proper divorce from her before he was trying to marry Andy. So it makes sense that, she will show up and try to kill him, the day that he's trying to get married to Andy, because she feel like they ruined her life. Because she went to jail behind trying to shoot him with that fake gun or whatever. And so Danny is talking to Sabrina, and Sabrina's telling her, about, her depression and why she's upset. She done broke up with Rich and everything. And she, don't know how to feel about it. She missed him already, blah, blah, blah. And Danny's like, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm surprised me and Tony still together, blah, blah, blah. This, and that. And the ones that really shouldn't be together is Tony and Danny, like, the worst. But, of course, he proposed last week. I don't think she really took his, proposal seriously or whatever. But they decided they going to stay together. When he come over, honey, and he getting shipped, the company didn't like what happened between him and Danny and this other employee or whatever. And they ain't going to fire him or nothing, but they sending him off to Alaska. Anchorage, Alaska is where he got to go. Now, my whole thing is, why are you going to go if you don't want to go? If you don't want to move to Anchorage, Alaska, don't move to Anchorage, Alaska. I guess you're just going to have to find another job, and try to make as much money as you're making now. You may have to take a pay cut, but do you want to take a pay cut, stay with your life? Or do you want to keep the money and go to Alaska where you got 6 months of darkness? I don't understand what you're going to do, Tony, but you came over there look like a lost puppy dog, like you already knew you was about to go to Alaska. So that means you really pretty much trying to break up with Danny, because Danny's not about to be with you if you all the way in Alaska. She's not going to do it. Her sex drive is too high to be trying to deal with a long distance relationship and not mess it up. She ain't going to do it. And then we saw, Jordan and Penelope went to Fuel to have a couple of drinks with Rich, because they're excited about Jordan being out or whatever. And she sends Jordan to the car, and she's going to help Rich, get the place cleaned up or whatever. And before you know it, they reminiscing this and this and that and that. And what is Penelope doing with her little hot box self? She done jumped the bones of Richard. He done kissed her. He apologized, and she was like, Daddy, you just don't know what you done started. You just don't know what you done started. I'm with it. It's giving ready. It's giving hot and ready, because it's giving hot and ready, because as soon as he did that, she took a step back like, oh, Rich, I didn't know you had that in you. And she stepped into it. She's like, yes, take all of me, because I tried to give myself to Robin, and he was like, I was on his lip, and he didn't want me on his lip. So here's my second chance. I'm going to use this transfer, and I'm going to ride your bones, Richard. And so he picked her up, and they started humping. Now, mind you, Sabrina was getting all his stuff together earlier. That's why she was smelling on his clothes, because she was getting everything together so she can take it back to him. She starts up to Fuel, and he is banging Penelope out like wham, 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 wham. And she's like, she threw his stuff down. He said, Sabrina, no, sit down. Because what she just caught you doing is what you thought she was doing all of them times. And she was never doing anything on you, bro. You are trifling. You nasty. You are a female. You are emotional. You are the worst type of man. Anybody that can relate to you and how you behave, I feel sorry for their mother, because she didn't do a very good job of raising a man, because that ain't how you act. Now look at you. 4 inches into your homeboy's little sister, and you didn't even get the okay from your homeboy to be banging his little sister. You're trifling. You're trifling, Rich. So why are you running after her with your pants around your ankles? Take that L and live with it. You did that. You did that for a cheap thrill, and I do mean cheap, because I'm telling you, Penelope, anybody can have that. Anybody can have that. She's so busy being obsessed with Andy, she done forgot that she was going after all of Andy's men in the wood and switched over to one of Sabrina's men. Like, girl. Penelope, hot box Penelope. I cannot believe you, girl. I hope Jordan know his sister's a hot. I'm just saying, a ho-ho. That's what you is, a ho-ho. So we're going to see how that works out, because Sabrina was not trying to see none of that. So we already know Sabrina and Damani is about to be like this. We might actually see a healthy relationship for once on this show. Like, I can't believe it, but it's possible with Damani. I feel like it's very much so possible. Don't y'all? And so then we see Robin, he's at the airport, and, he's disappointed because, Andy didn't reach out, but Andy's kidnapped right now. She's kidnapped, but he's upset that she didn't reach out, but he's letting her know how he really feels about her, how he really wants to spend the rest of his life with her. So he's pretty much proposing over the phone, but like, but you didn't feel that way about me. And, it's cool. You got a right to choose yourself, but I'm just letting you know, I had to let you know, this is how I feel about you, and blah, blah, blah. Well, as he's getting off the phone, all the lights at the airport go off. So it makes me wonder, is he even going to be able to catch his flight? Is there an emergency? What's really going on? Why did the lights go off at the airport? Because he ain't got on that plane yet. Keep that in mind. So Robin is still in the building. Well, he ain't in the building, but he's still in the city. So that's important. And then, now, when Karen came over, Fatima went on and sent Zach to go and see about Gary and Hudson, because they feel like Hudson is the one behind Gary getting stabbed. And I said that from the beginning, that Hudson was going to have something to do with it. I already knew, because the way he was treating Andy, it didn't make no sense. So what I didn't know was that it was going to be Hudson and Jasmine together working to kill Gary. I didn't know that. So when Fatima and Zach figured it out, they ran to check on Gary. He bust in, and there's a whole plot unfolding where you got Andy sitting here. They done took her blindfold off of her, and you got Gary, and they're being held at gunpoint by Jasmine and by Hudson. And so when Zach comes in, Hudson points the gun at him like, yeah, so I guess we just got another body to add to the collection. And Zach was like, I don't know what you thought. So when Hudson took the gun and pointed it at Zach, then Gary took his opportunity to jump Hudson. And so it was a big fight. Bam, 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 boom, boom, bam, kaplunk. All of this stuff going on without no lights, because we can't see nothing. I don't know who turned the lights off, but we can't see nothing, but we heard everything. And it sounded like, to me, somebody got shot. And if I had to guess who it was, I'm going to say it was Hudson. Got shot, because it ain't going to be Gary. And it ain't going to be Zach, because Gary didn't already get stabbed. They're not about to have him shot again. And we've already seen him in the hospital. They're not about to do that again. And Zach got too many babies on the way for him to be getting shot. And now the baby mamas need to be worried about him. No, that ain't what's going to happen. So that was the cliffhanger. But to me, the cliffhanger is Karen's water broke. Finally, she's in labor. Her water broke in Fatima's kitchen. Oh, that is so funny. And then she gonna say, just get me over to the couch. Like, girl, I don't want you leaking on my couch. Can't you just stand right here where it's like Formica, and it's easily to wipe it up? I really don't want you in my living room. You're leaking fluids. I don't know. And Karen seems to think she's gonna have the babies right there in that apartment, and I hope that's not the case. But they trying to get the ambulance on the phone, but she's like, hang up and call Zach. Well, Zach's busy right now, honey, so you really don't want to know what Zach going through right now. So I just need you to focus on them babies. So really, that was the gist of the episode. I feel like a lot happened. I feel like it was action-packed. I feel like it was good. It was well constructed. And yeah, I was thoroughly entertained, baby. And I hope y'all were too, because to me, it don't get much better than that. We done went through some changes with these Sistas writers, right or wrong. We done went through some changes. And I feel like, so for this to be a finale, we got Let's see, we've got Andy is you know, in a pickle, you know, where her life is in danger with Gary, because Gary used to be married to Jasmine, and he left Jasmine for dead and their children to pursue Andy. And then we got Hudson, who's been mad at Gary since high school when Gary killed the one person that treated him like a human being. And, you know, Gary's ex-girlfriend is prom date. So, I forget her name, Taylor. I forget her name. But, you know, he's been holding that grudge since then. So, him teaming up with Jasmine was just easy for him because he's been wanting to take Gary out for a very long time. And then we got Tony and Danny still together, but Tony about to get transferred to Alaska, so he got to decide what he want to do. We see Sabrina has broken up with Rich and went to take his stuff back, but walked in on him banging out Penelope. We also saw Penelope trying to throw herself on Robin, but got rejected. That was funny. But Jordan is out now. And Karen is definitely in labor. So that's the 4 ladies. You know, we got one in labor. One trying to figure out where her man about to go. We got one in the pickle trying to figure out if she finna live or not. And we got one that just walked in on her ex-boyfriend having sex with his so-called play sister. So, and that's Sisters, honey. That was the episode. So I'm gonna end it right there because, like I said, it was a good episode, and we got a lot to talk about. Wouldn't you say? So if you haven't already, please hit my subscribe button down at the bottom. Thank you so very much. And if you are not the subscribing type, you know what? You got to the end of this video, and that's more than I can ask of anybody. So thank you very much. You are appreciated. And that is my $5.02. Peace.